Hey, what's up? Hope everyone's doing all right. So right now we are on week 15. So if you read the Bible in 50 different sections and you spread out the section in 1 week, 50 weeks, you get through the Bible. So you get through the Bible in 1 year. It's about 14 pages in my Bible, King James Version. So I've separated them all. And I think this is the third time that we are going through this. So um, like I said, so it's the 15th week, and the readings for this week is 2 Samuel 15 through King 7. And so my last couple of videos, I was making a statement that um, the first and second Samuel seems to be like the kings through the prophet's eyes, and then the kings is like the view of like the kings through like the king's eyes. But now that I'm reading it, like it's obvious that, or at least it seems to be. I don't know why. I mean, this is why I keep going through it, but it's the second king or kings is just a continuation of Samuel and like the lineage, and so you have the judges, and so it's very linear, right? Um, you have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. And I think it might actually be Samuel after that, or Judges, and then Samuel, and then Kings. And so it's just linear. These books are just super linear, and I guess after Kings, it's Solomon and Proverbs. I'm not exactly sure, but like I'm getting to know a little bit better, and so like a lot of these videos, they are for me as well to learn and me kind of get the setup of the Bible and just to understand like kind of the nuances and how the Bible is orchestrated and how it's divided and kind of the reasons behind it. So that was something I was saying in the previous videos that was an error, and so as I'm reading right now, I understand that that's an error, and so yeah, so that's the first thing that struck out that kind of like got to me when I started reading Kings after Second Samuel. And so for Monday I have David numbers the people, chooses pestilence for punishment. um I don't think that's linear. I might have to change that to like more like a, that's like the end of Second Samuel. So I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna change that Monday and Wednesday and change those, reverse each other, because yeah, this is not linear. This is actually the very end of Samuel, and David numbers the people and chooses pestilence for the punishment. And I guess I just like that. um I mean, I shouldn't like it, but I just, it's a horrible thing that happened. It's just an interesting thing that happened, and just I always think of like the angel of the Lord. I wonder how, was it like a pestilence, like a disease, or was like the angel of the Lord like just going through and like just killing people, and excuse me. And so the error, I guess, in my heart is like not to be excited about that. It's interesting because I have this dream where like I'm supposed to help people to take away the information they know so they can learn something new. Like I'm supposed to teach, but then I'm just learning so much already, and so it's like, how can I be teaching when I'm learning so much? And I'm not like, I guess I'm just never fully understanding or never fully know a lot or know everything. And so I guess it's, I have to like balance the two between teaching and then also learning myself. And I think that's kind of a difficult thing to do. So uh, I have that on Monday is David chooses pestilence for the people. I also feel like I'm messing up a lot lately, and so I'm just like not as solid in my conviction. I'm battling right now, and just feel like I'm getting ripped, getting beat up pretty good. Trying to figure a way around it or figure a way through it, but hopefully I'll be better for it at the end. So that's what I have for Monday. Um, and so on Tuesday I have David's Mighty Men of War. And it's interesting too because David has these mighty men of war, and these men of war, some of them kill like 800 people one time, and it's just so contrary to what I feel like is Christianity, or what I've always been taught of Christianity, of like just killing as being, how can killing be a good thing if I'm supposed to love everybody? How, and so I think I have this view of Christianity that's been modeled through my culture that's just an inaccurate view of Christianity. And so it's really hard to reconcile the difference between what my society views Christianity as, and the Old Testament, because the Old Testament is far from what my culture has deemed what Christianity should be, and the popularity and the popularization of Christianity, or it's just such an old time ago that's not how we're supposed to behave anymore. But that's just how people were. So to have a history of how people were, that these men were given like great honor. I killed 800 people. David killed so many people. And enemies of God, but it's like I'm supposed to love everybody, so how can somebody be an enemy of God? So it's really difficult to reconcile the Old Testament and the New Testament. And why is it so difficult? I don't know. It's difficult though. I'm trying to learn and try to figure it out. And God will guide me to have this understanding. And then but yeah, David had a lot of mighty men of war, man. It wasn't just him. And I think that because he, beat Goliath, he inspired a lot. And once he started inspiring people, that they were able to see what God can do for a man. And once they were able to see what God can do for a man, they wanted a part of that. And so they were inspired. And so I think David was like the path maker. And the people behind him saw the path that he made and what man can do. And it's a lot of different perspective when you see it than when someone does it. And so I think that the people that see these things happen, it opens their eyes a little bit different than the person that's happening to, because you can't see yourself like other people can see you. And so it allows a different view, and then people see this thing happening to somebody else like, oh man, I want a part of that too. And it just brings about a different type of person. And then so Wednesday I have David leaves Jerusalem because of Absalom. And when David leaves Jerusalem because of Absalom, like there's a lot that goes on there. There's a lot with Absalom. And there's just a lot of conflict, right? I don't think it's drama, because drama is unnecessary conflict. But there's just like life, and life is not necessary conflict. There's necessary conflict in life. And so conflict is okay, but drama is bad. And drama, there's no need for it, but conflict, there is need for conflict and for growth. Because I don't think you necessarily need conflict for growth, but conflict does allow growth to take place. And so there's a lot of ways that growth can take place, and one of them is through conflict. And that allows the growth to take place. At least that's kind of what I've been seeing. So Thursday I have God asks for, Solomon asks God for an understanding heart to judge the people. And so this is really interesting for me too, because like this happened in a dream. And so because Solomon had actions in a dream, the actions in the dream have effects, right? It's not just a dream with no effect. So dreams definitely have an effect. You can do things in a dream that have an effect. I don't necessarily see any dreams or any examples of somebody doing something bad in a dream and it having like a negative effect, but excuse me, this is something that someone does good in a dream. Solomon does good in a dream and pleases God in a dream, and he gets affected in waking life. So the things you do in dreams can definitely affect your waking life, because we see this directly in the Bible where Solomon has a dream, and in the dream he talks to God, and because of what he says to God, he's affected in his life, and God rewards him in his life because of the actions that he has in the dream. Solomon is like, he has all these great people, and he asks for an understanding heart so he can judge the people. And the Bible says, there's no one before him or after him that will have such a discerning heart. Or I don't know exactly the words that he said, but Solomon is definitely one of a kind. Right? It's the message that is going to be conveyed. And God does a lot for him, because in his heart and what he asks for is an understanding heart. He's not asking for riches. He gets all these things as well. And even with the understanding heart and knowing all these things, he still messes up because of a woman. I guess you can have all the understanding in the world, but if you don't master your emotions, you're screwed. So you can know, but can you do? So knowing is one thing and doing is another thing. So knowing is a strength and doing is a strength. Wisdom is a strength, but you have the strength to do what you need to do with what you know. What do you think? I'm not doing very well right now. I mean, what are my options? I feel like I'm doing okay. I don't know, what are my options? My options are the things in front of me. Lord, I'm doing okay. Alright, look at me and I'm pleased with me. I hope God sees the same thing. Hopefully I'm a better day than I was yesterday. Hopefully I'm better tomorrow than I am today. I'm pleased with me. Okay, and so Friday I have House of the Lord. So Solomon, David asks, just tells God that he wants to build him a house. And God says, no, you won't build a house. Your son will build a house. So Solomon builds him a house. And he builds him quite a house. But with everything in the house and the wisdom, the people and everything, it shows that people that still weren't able to hold things together. That was a long time ago. I think man's grown a lot since then. The fact that they built it all is pretty great. Yeah, they weren't able to hold together again, but they built the right thing. And the fact that they could build it is what matters. It's not so much the fact they couldn't hold together. It's the fact they could build it. So this is inspiration. It can't be built. The part now is to hold together, but it can't be built. Man can't build it. Yeah, it's possible. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good note. Tired today. Always tired. One day I feel like I'll be able to be a little more level-headed, like a little bit less tired. I'll be living in an environment of truth, and I won't be weighed down so much by the deception that grips me. It makes it hard for me to do anything. The more deception is done away with, the more free I will be. Free to be me. Prophet of truth. At least that's what I believe. Alright, so hopefully everyone's doing okay. God bless and happy truth seeking.